And I feel like some people think that men are like, have no emotions. They are just babies. Would they do the same thing if you were a man? Would you invite a man to a hotel room to do this?
Of course not.
Women are dominating music right now.
The music we have out today from women, like whether it's like a Flo Milli.
People sleep on Flo Milli.
Coco Jones. Ooh, I manifested meeting Michael B. Jordan.
When I saw that, I wanted to die.
Don't be texting, don't be calling.
Welcome back to the Ladies Always Win podcast. I am your host, Miss Ladies Always Win herself. And today I am here with my co-host, Deja. And we also have a very special guest, Miss Amber Corinne. I have to get a soundboard. If I'm going to get a little like, you know what I mean? Like, all like the little DJ sounds.
That'll be dope.
But yeah, so we're here with Miss Amber. She's an entertainment journalist. For those of you guys who don't know, she writes for Vibe, right? Mm-hmm. Vibe. All the people that you guys love and see. She probably writes stories about them. Super dope. So she's going to be here with us today. I'm glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. First, I want to say congratulations.
Oh,
on
thank
the
you.
podcast. I think
Thank
it's amazing.
you.
You know, us ladies, we need something that's just for us.
Yes.
So I appreciate you guys having me. You
Yeah.
girls having
Girl,
me.
we had to have you on here. We had to.
I know. But yeah, so I thought for today's episode, right, we're talking about working women, right? Which is why I really wanted you to be on this episode because you are a working woman. I've been following you for
I got to, like,
right. I've been following like you for so long, and like every time I'm like on your Instagram, like I've just seen you kind of like elevate your life. You know what I mean? And just kind of like get to the bag, do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big facts. Big facts.
I mean, yeah, I feel like every single time, I just always know that the things that I want to do, they're going to manifest. And
Yes.
so everything that I've done so far, I've seen it before it's happened. Like I told myself, like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, there's certain people I want to talk to. And even though I haven't talked to all of them yet, like some of them I have, like jobs I wanted to have. It's just about like manifesting and putting in the hard work. So yeah, I have to elevate. The only way is up. Like, you know,
Period.
like the
Period.
only way
That's
is
a
up.
fact.
Who are some of the people that you like feel like you manifested interview?
I manifested meeting Michael B. Jordan.
When
Yeah,
I saw
when I
that, I wanted to die.
Wait,
Yes,
the crazy
I
thing
seen on the
is,
gram.
I was supposed to actually interview him, but that didn't happen. But
okay.
I did meet him. We locked
You
eyes.
guys look cute together. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was doing Lori Harvey at the time, but I was like, it's giving.
That was
it
after
giving
the breakup.
couple.
After the breakup. So, you know,
Shoot your shot. Did you shoot your shot?
we connected. I think that was my shot right
Okay. You guys had the
You'll
eye
see him
contact. You
again.
see me, I see you. It was a vibe.
Who
Spoke without
else?
words.
I feel like it's been so many people.
Like Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige,
she
of course. Like, who
recently
wouldn't
did.
want to talk to Mary J.
Yeah,
Blige?
that was wild.
You know, her. Oh, actually, her. I've interviewed her. Oh, that's funny. It's just so many people. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for everybody that I've talked to.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
grateful for
dope.
everybody.
So I mean, like, what would you say? Like, what do you actually do? Like, what is your job for people who don't know? Kind of just explain, you know, what you do.
So, okay, so like my day-to-day stuff is like I'm in New York. I work at Vibe magazine, so I'm writing news stories all day
Okay.
about everything that happens in the news. And then from there, I work on my own content. So like that means if I have any interview schedule, I'm doing that. Go to events and cover those, red carpet stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Traveling to cover
Very.
events, like
Wow.
you know, like so I'm pretty much just all entertainment, trying to be this media mogul.
Mogul,
type of
yes.
person.
You are.
So-
You really are though. Not gonna,
are.
yeah,
You
that's
are.
okay. That's
That's what
dope.
I'm
I
trying
didn't
to
know
do.
that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
You kind of have like a lot of like creative freedom in like what you write about, basically, as long as it's just news.
Well, when it comes to news, you don't really get that much creative freedom because sometimes you're required to write about stuff that you don't want to
yeah.
write about. Like, you know,
Right.
like
Okay.
I don't really care about who's dating who, but
Oh.
sometimes I have to write about that type of stuff. And I don't
Really?
and I don't want to do that, you know, but when it
That's
comes
funny.
to my own content, I do get creative freedom, but being that I work for a bigger platform, it still has to go through them.
There's
So it's
certain
like
regulations.
yeah, it's like
certain
what they
requirements.
want, you know.
So that's like another thing too, right? So I think, which is like another reason I really wanted like your perspective. So because you do work for this big company, what do you feel like do you feel like there's any differences with like the work that like you had to do or have to do like moving up versus like, let's say like your male counterparts, like in the same department, same building, same company?
I'll say I'm the only female news writer in New York at Vibe.
Oh,
like we have
wow.
other women who
Go
work there as like
ahead.
editors, right?
That's amazing.
Hold it down.
Like
Hold
it's
it down.
it's a boys club sometimes, but
But
like
yeah, so like what are like the challenges that you face being like the only female?
I would say like sometimes just wanting to feel like included, like, you know, like the guys I work with, those are like my bros and they'll try to include me, but they'll get together like, let's do this and we're going to this event
Yeah,
tonight.
you're
And I'm
like,
just like,
I
I
wanted
want
a
to
bros
go.
too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
I
want to
wanted
go
a
too.
bros
But
too.
I think it's that, just sometimes trying to feel included. For vibe, I haven't really had like that issue of trying to be heard as a woman more say, but I've worked in other places where it was nothing but men, and I had to fight for the things that I wanted to write about and the things I had to fight for female rappers before, like to be on lists and stuff like that. So that's the thing that comes with that sometimes.
No, that's interesting. I mean, so then, wow, I'm learning so much. That's kind of so like what like made you have like the courage, right? Because there's a lot of females that could have been in like your position at older companies who wouldn't have really like pushed for that. They would have kind of just done their job. They don't want to like lose their paycheck. What kind of made you feel like, no, like I need to like really speak up for women and like make a space for that?
It's about the respect for me. Like, I just want to be respected. I know at the end of the day, as women, we already have challenges because like we're beautiful. Like, people think that, oh, well, this woman wants to be she wants to be at another level, so she might do whatever to get there. And like, no, like I want to be respected. Like I want people to know like my work speaks for me first. Like, so that's why I fight for that, because it's like I don't want anybody to think they can play with me. Like
don't play with it.
Like you can't play with me. I want you to respect me.
Yeah.
And take my work seriously, because I do.
That kind of leads me to like another thing, which it's a very big controversial topic. So what would you say like your opinion is on, let's say, women kind of like using their body, using sex, using their looks to advance their careers? Like, do you feel like, I mean, everyone does it. People do it. Like, we're not going to act like it's not a thing, right? It's real. But it's like, what would you say? Because I kind of feel like, obviously, it's extremely frowned upon, right? And people feel like you shouldn't do it. But I feel like there's two sides of it where it's like, number one, right? If you're already at a disadvantage as a woman and your only advantage is your looks, it would kind of be dumb of you to not use the one advantage you have when you're already at this huge disadvantage. But I feel like with that, you do run the risk, like you said, of not having that respect for your actual work. You know what I mean? So it's like where can women kind of like find that balance? It's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, you know what, to each his own. I always say that, like, it's your body, do what you want.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it depends on what your intentions are, like what you want the end goal to be, how you want to be viewed. So it's like, if you don't care about the aftermath. If you care about like, okay, I want to be the top whatever female doing this and I want people to respect me for my work, like, yeah, your looks might get you the opportunity, but like to actually go all the way to like sleep with somebody or something, I think that's like where, it gets a little tricky, because you don't want to be known for that.
Yeah,
like,
you better be prepared for them stories.
Exactly.
Right.
Like
have you ever personally had like someone, maybe not where you are now, but just anywhere like in your career, like had someone kind of like persuade you or like kind of come at you that way where you kind of knew like what they were about? You know what I mean?
It's like, of course.
Yeah. Really? But okay, ready? But like,
like,
here's the thing. What does it really look like? Because I feel like people don't understand. They think like it looks different than what you think. So like when it's happening to you, people feel like it's not really happening to them because they don't realize what it really looks like. So what would you say, like, if you had to describe it, like, what does it really look like so the other females who are, trying to work their way up can kind of know, oh, if he's doing this, like, this might be like a signal. Let me like, chill out.
Well, I would say, for the record, like, I've only dated people who are not in the industry, like people that's off the radar, like you wouldn't even know.
You know,
but what it has looked like for me, it'll be like, they start off with compliments. Compliments are fine, but then it's like, oh, we should go out, and then you're like, you brush it off, and then they keep asking, and it's like, right, and then it's like when you're like curving them, they start acting different. So it's like,
get better.
Okay. Right, exactly. So at first it's like, oh, I want to work with you. Let's go out and talk about this and that. But then once you kind of like see that they're trying to have an advance and you're, curving it, then it's like they don't really.
Yeah, the energy changes.
Yeah, you don't want to work anymore. Like, like magically. So.
I feel like the biggest like I guess like telltale sign for that is if they're offering you anything, like, would they do the same thing if you were a man? Right? Meaning, cool, if they want to work with you, if they want to, let's talk about this. Okay. Would you invite a man to a hotel room to do this? Would you?
Not.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
if that's what you like, but I don't think you would.
It's like probably not, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I think that like women have to deal with that. And I feel like even like we had like the podcast like party and we had a panel and I was talking about that, about how like, because I think someone asked a question. I was like, I feel like women almost have to work 10 times harder because you have to make sure, because it's like if you have any kind of slack or any kind of anything, it's gonna come to that. You know what I mean? So like if you really don't want to, like, if that's like your choice, you don't want to have to sleep around like to like get where you want. It's like you have to put in so much more work to make sure that you don't really need anybody that's in a certain position, because that's where you're gonna get into those like things. Because I feel like sometimes when I feel like everyone will say like, oh, I don't want to do that, but it's like when something is in front of you or an opportunity is in front of you, you're just gonna think about the outcome. You're not gonna think about, you know what I mean?
You know what? Another thing you just made me think of too. It's a little touchy because it's like, for me, I'm a person, like, I'm very professional. I work in this industry, it's crazy. But I'm a person who loves love. So it's like, even like most people that I'm going to be around are people who are in the industry because I'm just around y'all. So it's like, if I do choose to date somebody in the industry and it don't work out, and then I'm like, okay, I want to keep dating. Does that look crazy? Does it look like
now you're
or like
hopping around?
You know what I'm saying? But really, I'm just looking for a genuine relationship. You know, so that's why I kind of choose to date off the radar. But most of the men who do try to get at me is because of I'm around them. Like, we're at events and stuff like that. You know. So
now, question: when you are dating somebody, how do you stay focused?
Easy.
Like, easy, girl. I say, like, I love, but like being,
Deja,
you
she
know,
get
with my
love
two
Joan over
gems
there.
and things like that. I find it hard. Well, I have found it hard. Like in my past to stay focused and leave him alone. You know, give him, you know, get off his back a little bit. Like,
like stay on like your thing, but still be in a relationship.
Still, like,
I get what you mean.
Because I don't be having no time. Like sometimes you grind it so hard you don't have any time, but then it's like, I do have this time, and then I gotta go back to work. You know what I'm saying?
How do you like balance it?
You know what I'll say? I'll put it like this. Okay, I've always been able to like multitask, even like not just relationships. Like when I was in school, right? Like so I was when I was in getting my undergrad, I was working in the morning. I was doing my media and I was going to school. That's like 3 things. And then I had a relationship on top of that. I had a relationship on top of that.
Okay.
So like I guess it's just something natural that comes. It's like, even if I'm in a serious relationship, I don't know, like I'm able to like focus on both. It's like it's weird.
So like, do you have like you have like a system or like, because like some people will have like, okay, like I'm grinding, but I always have like my date night. You know what I mean? Like do you have some kind of like hack or
sometimes
something?
Date nights do not happen.
Yeah, like what is it like? You know, or it's just like you feel you have like a natural ability to just balance it.
I think I have a natural ability, but I think the type of job I have, I'm not really restrained to like, oh, you can't touch your phone or like, you know what I'm saying? So like, even though like I'm news writing in the morning, if I want, I can like text on the side, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
you
not
can.
gonna take away from what I'm doing, or like I can step out really quick and get on the phone. So I just try to like stay consistent, make sure like, even if it's just good morning every morning, that's something so quick that you can do. Just let them know like, hey, I'm thinking about you. If I'm on break, like I'll call you real quick. So I think for me, it's just about being consistent with the communication and letting them know like, yeah, I'm busy. And
yeah,
you're
but
not,
I'm still thinking
my
about
life
you.
is not consumed around you, but I'm making time for you. Like, you know,
Right.
so just make time. That's it.
That's such a good point, because so many girls feel like it's one or the other. If it's like you got to either be super consumed with this man, or I'm just ignoring him all day because I'm grind. But it's like you said, like he needs to kind of feel like and I feel like some people think that men are like have no emotions, but it's like I feel like men are some of the
Yes,
they're just babies. I'm telling you, like they put on these exteriors, but it's like they're just like, you know those memes where it's like him when he's like around me and the boys are gone, and it just be like some wild shit, bro. It's like that's really so true, because it's like if you were at work all day and you weren't making that communication, like they're gonna have an attitude, they're gonna have this, they're gonna have that. So they need that like you said, that constant communication to feel important and to like feel loved.
I think so. I think with men too, is like they'll act like you know, they don't see certain things or nothing bothers them. They'll try this nonchalant thing, but as soon as like shit hits the fan, they're like, yeah, but I didn't like when you did that. I'm like, well, why didn't you say that in the moment? Because you were acting like you didn't. You know what I'm saying? You were acting nonchalant, but clearly you felt some way.
You don't understand. You don't understand. That is my biggest pet peeve with guys. I don't even know if it's all guys, but in relationships, if I am bringing up a point to you that I'm mad about, that's not the time for you to bring up what you're mad about from last week, because you had your time last week. And when it happened, you should have said, hey, when this happened, I was upset.
Right.
Now that I'm mad, it's not time for you to be mad too. Don't take away my moment. You know what I mean? It's like, just because you decided to boggle this up and like, well, when you did this last week, okay, but it's not time for that. That time is over.
I'm a little guilty of that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've definitely done
holding
that before.
it in.
Like no, I've done that before. Where it's like they're expressing themselves. And I'm like, yeah, but when you did that,
that can't happen for me though. That can't happen for me, because I'm the kind of person that if I'm mad, we're talking about it right now.
No,
I can't wait. Like, it's like weird, because I feel like I have like a balance. Like certain things, I'll let it go. But most of the time, like if something like really bothers me, it's like I'm like that girl that's like, you know what, the memes, and it's like 7 a.m. we're arguing. Yeah. Because if I wake up and I had a dream that you did something weird,
we
like,
talk about it.
Yeah, like, I had this dream.
I got some questions.
Yeah, but it's like I just feel like it's a little bit real. Like, and then like I'm just, whatever's on my brain, we're gonna talk about it right then and there.
No, I'm the same way. I know. Like,
you gotta know. But no, I feel like, so you said that you haven't like really dated people in the industry, and it kind of seems like it's by choice. Like, what do you feel like? Like, do you feel like there's like pros and cons to like you wouldn't? Like, I know you said you just want to have like a regular relationship, but it's like, what are your like thoughts on that?
To be honest, it depends on the person. Like, some people are very different. Like when they're in private, and then when they get into industry stuff, it's
Yeah,
like
the work
very
mode
different.
stuff is just
And
totally different.
I think sometimes with you know, being in the industry, you want to maintain like this image, or like you don't want to like block people off from like being able to communicate with you or talk to you because like they're like, oh, she in a relationship, I can't talk to her. So I think that's why sometimes we kind of, you know, don't publicize
Don't do it, yeah.
But I think it depends on the person. Like, I'm not opposed to dating people in the industry. I just like, I haven't ran into someone that I'm like,
that you
okay,
vibe with enough to be
I feel like I can
wanna...
vibe with you outside of this industry shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's what it's been for me.
I know what it can be. It's like hard to stick with like what's real and what's not. Like like you said, with
really.
that publicity shit, like I'd be like, hold on.
No, that's serious.
You
Like,
know?
seriously, when I'm not at work, I'm not thinking about work. And I know, like,
okay.
like, people look at me like, you're a journalist. When I'm not doing my job, or I'm not talking
You can
about
turn
work.
it off.
Like, I'm not talking
Okay.
about it at all. Like, I'm not talking
Yeah.
about who I spoke to this week or what I really just be wanting to chill and be, like, just regular.
Yeah, just vibe.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
what do
yeah.
you like? What do you what are the key things that you want in a man? I'm curious.
Okay, so I got to think about what I've had that I didn't like. And,
That's
like,
how you make the list. That's really how you make the list.
No,
like, yeah, it's the
seriously.
complete opposite of what you don't like.
Definitely, you have to be family oriented because my family is the type of family. If you come around and you all stuck up, they're gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Ooh.
Like, I have a
You
lot
don't
of women
like
in my
him?
family, so like they're the type they're gonna pull you up. They want to dance with you. They wanna talk
Yeah,
to
you
stuff
gotta
like
be
that.
social.
So social, yeah, like
Yeah.
that kind of covers the whole spectrum. Be social. I like to laugh. Like I like to have fun. I have a goofy side. Like I have an immature side. Like and
Yeah,
I'm not saying like
yeah, not immature, but like almost like childlike. You know what I mean? Like kid
like I
like.
want to have fun, you know. Someone who makes me laugh, somebody who's financially, you know, responsible. They care about their health because I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I go
Talk
to the
about
doctor monthly,
I
so it's
hear
like
that.
I want
Yeah.
somebody that's like that too. Someone who has their own shit. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Oh, someone who
Yeah,
has their
girl.
own. Someone who has their own stuff going on. You're not consumed in what I'm doing, but when we come together, it's just like magical.
Yeah.
But you do your own thing, and I do my own thing. And when we
Yeah.
get together.
But we're
so
not worried
there's
about
a
that once it's you and me.
yeah, you know, like that's what I like. Somebody who has their own thing going on. They're hardworking, but they're still pursuing their passions. Like, yeah, I think that sums it up a lot. Someone who's not a cheater, you know.
Right.
It's
But how
hard
do you
'cause
know?
sometimes you don't know. Exactly.
How do you know?
A man that can dress.
That's-
a man with a nice
Fly.
smile.
Drippy, yeah, sick. My man needed to be. Yeah, you were giving us specifics. Like she was dropping like real deep gems.
Charming, you know.
I mean, if we're gonna be like, you know, on that type of level, then yeah, I would like
Okay.
someone who compliments me, you know, whether
Yeah.
that's like style, my humor, being outgoing,
Yeah,
those
Yeah.
things.
like
So,
a pair. So do you
Yeah.
think like in a relationship, like what is your perspective on like? Do you think like it should be like 50-50, like a partnership? Do you think that a man should like provide? Because again, like you're like a working woman, like obviously
Right.
like you provide for yourself, right? So do you feel like when you get into a relationship, even though you provide for yourself without this man, because you're in a relationship, do you feel like they should now provide?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not saying you have to. I'm a giver too, so it's like it kind of is 50-50. But of course, I want to be able to like call my man for certain stuff. Like
Yeah,
even
just
if
to
I
know.
even if I knew how to like change my tire, I'm calling you. Like you're like you
Yeah,
gotta
'cause I
do it.
want
Like,
you to
gotta
do it,
right?
yeah.
So it's like. I
Good
do think it's
job.
like a 50-50 thing. I'm not a believer in like, oh, he just has to take care of everything. Like, I don't believe in that. It's a partnership.
team. Yeah,
Like,
it is
it's
a
a partnership.
team.
But I definitely want somebody I can like depend on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and I want them to depend on me for certain stuff too.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's like the biggest thing too for like a lot of like females who already like support themselves. Like when a man comes in, sometimes because like I think that like girls don't understand that like men need to feel needed. So if you are just so hyper independent and you don't need this man for
Yes.
nothing, it's almost like okay, well why is he here?
That's true.
You know what
No,
I mean?
that's
So
true.
it's like you need to let him feel again, like you said. If I continue my tire, I'm gonna let you do it because he's gonna
Yeah.
feel like he's coming, he's saving the
Yeah,
day. You know what I
right.
mean? So you got to kind of create that space for him to like feel like, oh, okay, like there's a spot for him. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's
no,
a good.
absolutely, that's true. And you know what? I saw this video on TikTok a while ago, and like this girl was like, you know, every day I just ask my man to do one little small task, like even if that's like, oh, can you
Aw.
go grab that for me? Just because she's like, he just needs to feel needed. And
Yeah.
I'm like, of course I'm not gonna be like petty in that sense, but it's like if it's something that I just want him to feel like, you know, like she needs me or like, you know,
Yeah.
I got her, then I'm gonna give that to you. I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
do it,
you're gonna
you
let
know?
that.
Yeah,
That's good though. That's good. So
Yeah.
what would you say like your tips or like your I guess advice to any, you know, female who's trying to like make something of themselves, right? Like what would you tell them that they should be doing?
Stay true to yourself. In the words of my mom, know that you're that bitch. Like
That bitch,
You know what I'm
period.
saying? Like, yes, my mom, she doesn't even talk like that, but that's what she told me. She was like, you
Really?
need to act like that.
Yeah, 'cause you're confident, you
Like,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
like, you know, when you walk in the room, command the energy, you know, don't come in with your head down. Know that you belong no matter what space you're in. If you're in there, it's because you're supposed to be.
Period.
That's how I look at it. Stay true to yourself and don't just like settle for anything because you want to get to a certain point. Like make sure like your journey to wherever you're going is because it's your journey. Like you're making it yours. You're not doing what people are just telling you to do. Doing stuff that you want to do and it feels comfortable with you.
It feels natural to you.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite artists right now?
Ooh,
I'm curious.
all the women.
Girl.
All the women.
All
like,
women are dominating
No, for real,
music
for real.
right now.
It's like I'm not even just saying that. Like the music we have out today from women, like whether it's like a Flo Milli or whoever, like
people sleep on Flo Milli.
Coco Jones, Ice Spice. Even though like I know a lot of people got a lot to say about Ice Spice, but I feel like she has an audience. Like you know,
She
like
does.
even if that's not your type of music, she has an
yeah.
audience. So it's like I feel like the women right now they're making music that makes us feel sexy, makes us feel confident, like we can do whatever. We're not scared to say what's on our mind. Just like you know, back
really in
then,
your face.
men used to say whatever in songs. So it's like women get looked at like you know away when they're saying. You know, like my booty hole brown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
keep it real. My booty hole brown.
Like the
It's
song
yo.
is crazy, but we had crazier music from men back then. Like you know,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
a
feel
good
like sometimes
perspective.
we just get a bad rep because we're saying what we want to say. But like, I love the
all
women
the
in
things
rap right
men
now.
been
All the
saying
women.
all these years.
Really? Yeah, that's true.
I'm rooting for the women right
See,
now.
that's I know, and like that is very true too, because like it's so funny. I did this video clip. Oh my gosh, I did this clip for my song too, right? And there's this movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Bruno.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in that movie
Yeah.
where he brings Paula Abdul into the house, but there's no furniture.
Yeah.
And so he had the workers become the furniture. So I was like, yo, that's a really cool scene. So for my song 2, I did this little clip where I was sitting on guys as furniture. Right? I don't know if you saw it. I posted it. And yeah, I had a table, I had a chair, whatever. But I was
place to
sitting
put
on the
your
guys,
feet up,
and they were
everything.
the furniture. And so Say Cheese had posted the clip. And everyone was just mad in the comments. They were like, you couldn't sit on furniture? You couldn't do this? And my whole
Did
thing...
y'all not see, who was it? Snoop or somebody came with 2 women on leashes?
You see
They were
my
acting
point.
as dogs.
You see
Like,
my
did y'all not-
point.
Did y'all not see that?
Yeah, and I was like, so when men are literally objectifying women in their videos, right? They're not really personalities. They're
difference?
props, just
Like,
shaking
come
ass, which is
on.
fine. I was like, so when I'm literally objectifying men, making them objects, why are you mad? What is the
Right,
problem?
take a joke. Take
Yeah,
a
but it's
joke,
the same thing like
please.
you said, like how like men were allowed to like say all these things what's on their mind, but when like women are saying what they really are thinking, everyone's like, oh, it's ratchet, it's ghetto, it's this, it's that, and it's like, well, you know, maybe this is just like the type of stuff that we're
and
trying
like
to talk about.
And like I always say, like it's something for everybody. Like if it's not for you, it's not for you. But
That's what I be
there's an
saying.
audience for that. Like
Yeah.
just like I said, like in when with men who rap, like there's an audience for every single person. Whether you're a J. Cole type of person, you want to hear that deep stuff, you like
Yeah.
Kendrick, or you like a Young Nudie, or like a Boozy, like whatever. It's something
Yeah.
for everybody. You just gotta find what you
like.
like. You know.
But, so like, do you think that, because I feel like female rap and like, especially the subject matter of female rap, sometimes it's like a bad like reputation. Would you say that like the female rap and like what they're saying, do you think it's like negatively affecting or impacting like younger women in the sense of like you have the city girls who are making it seem like if a guy's not spending all their money on you, they're not doing nothing, or you know what I mean? Like, do you think any of it has somewhat of like a negative messaging that's maybe encouraging women to not kind of get their own stuff and more or less depending on a man?
I would say there's negative messaging in so many things, like not just like music. Like I think about like freaking video games, like kids playing Grand Theft Auto, and people think like you want to go out and do that, like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like first of all, you shouldn't have your kids listening to certain stuff, like but
That part, I think it's on the parents.
Like we got to remember, like these artists, they're not signing up to be, I want to say like role models, like per se. Like of course they're gonna be seen as role models, but they're not signing up for that. Like they're not making music because they're thinking of your kids.
Yeah, they're thinking
you know what I'm saying? They're thinking about their
expressing
audience, and your kids should not be their audience.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
sometimes that happens through like they might be listening to it in the car, like
social
TikTok
media,
or whatever.
yeah.
But, you know,
TikTok.
we got to remember that these artists, they're not responsible for raising your kids. Like you're responsible for raising your kids, so you should be in charge of what they're listening to.
That
you know, like, and not
part,
the
come on.
artist.
Period.
No,
See,
seriously.
I like that, because then it takes the pressure off of like you as an artist, especially from like someone who makes music. Like you said, I'm not really thinking about that. Like I don't think my music is necessarily negative, but it's like I never once in my life got in the studio and was like, oh, like let me make sure. Like I'm thinking about the girls. Like I'm thinking about my demographic. Like what kind of stuff. Like okay,
Family.
where they're out in life. Like what do they feel like listening to? What are they going through? So it's like that makes sense.
No, it makes a whole lot of sense, and it's just like, of course, like, and I think of myself, like if I had kids, like I'm not gonna be letting them hear certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my responsibility. That's not Nicki Minaj or Cardi B's responsibility to make music for my kids to listen to.
All these
you know, so
singing about
Coco
sex.
Melon on
I
it.
can
yeah,
imagine.
you know, like, that's not for them. So
Yeah. I'm dead. No, I like that. Yeah, that's a good perspective to have. But I mean, do you have anything else that you want to share with the girlies? Messaging, vibes.
You know, just ladies always win. You know what I'm saying?
Heard it here first.
And I just want to say, you know, y'all keep going. Like, this is beautiful. I
Thank
love the setup.
you.
I'm happy to be here. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Oh my gosh.
you know?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, yeah, this was, I think, a good episode. I hope anyone listening, watching, that you guys got something valuable. If you don't already follow Amber, you should, okay?
Oh, yeah, of course. Follow me on Instagram, amber.corinne. That's CORRINE. What else? Twitter is acting crazy right now. Ooh. But you can follow me on Twitter at ambercorinne_. YouTube, Amber Corinne. Go to vibe.com, Vibe magazine. You can check out my articles. And
yes, I'm gonna link some in the show notes too. Either the
I
show
have a lot
notes
of
or
cool
description.
interviews on there. Go watch them.
I told y'all, I'm telling you, you're gonna be surprised. I follow her on Instagram, and every time I'd be like, "Yo, she interviewing this person." Like, dang, it's always random.
Yeah, that's it for me, really. I don't have anything coming up, I don't think, right
Yeah.
now. But I'm just trying to chill and, like, you know.
Yeah, she's just vibing. So just make sure,
vibing.
make sure you guys follow her. You know, keep up with her. She's
Absolutely.
winning. We like to support women who are winning. You feel me? This is what the platform is for. So, like I said, I'm really happy that you stopped by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we'll be back next Wednesday with another episode. Maybe someone will be here, maybe they won't, but we'll be talking about something, and we will see you guys next week.